Hello, we have Tracy here today to help us. I want to keep the body relaxed so we don't feel like we're tensing too much. Standing up nice and tall, feet relaxed and apart, chin slightly in so that is the length out of the back of the neck. Not going to do too much to begin with. Let's get a couple of nice deep inhales, big inhale and long exhale out. And again, deep inhale and exhale out. Got two left, deep inhale. And exhale, so you're keeping those shoulders open nice and wide, and deep inhale and exhale out. And we're going to start stretching from the top of the head just to loosen up the neck. We're not going to increase the intensity too much, but the head falls over to the right, shoulders staying loose, weight on the side of the head, just tipping over down. Don't let the lower back arch here. We don't want to feel like we're pushing our hips forward or our ribs forward. We want to keep that nicely under, just the neck moving. 2, 1, slowly up. Head tipped over to the left. Nice and heavy out the neck. Keeping the weight nice and balanced, not shifting anything, just the head moving. And slowly up. And nice and smooth over to the right. 2, 1, and up. And last one. Tipping over. Nice and smooth and easy. 2, 1, and up. We're going to increase the stretch a little bit now. We're going to get assistance from the hands and the arm. Tip the head over to the right. Right arm swings around onto the side of the head. While we get the swing of the arm, we don't want to antagonize anything. If we come straight up, there's a tendency for that shoulder to want to assist, and then we start hugging our neck. So we want to have that arm almost always reaching away. So it's just the elbows as far away from the head as we can be, not too close. And unhook the right arm, and the head comes up, tipping over to the left side. The left arm again, reaching far away so the elbow can stay nice and away. Big gap between the head and the elbow. A little bit of pressure. Don't feel like we're pulling with the hand too much. You want to feel like the fingertips are doing a bit more of the work in the wrist, not so much the arm doing all the force for us. 2, 1, unhook the left arm, swinging on and around, head comes up. Tip that over to the right, right arm swings around, long and onto the side of the head. Big gap between the elbow and that head there. Soft pull, a little bit of weight, going to keep it there for 5. Feeling that pull from the shoulder blade and the collarbone up to the back of that neck. Nice and heavy, don't want to tense anything else too. 1, and head comes up slowly, unhook that right, last one, tipping over to the left, left arm comes around, and touching onto the side of the head, feel that pull, out the side of the neck, nice and relaxed, otherwise, heavy weight, hands doing the work for us for 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly up. Now we're going to stretch the neck going forward a little bit, interlace those fingers, place them behind the hand, leaning a little bit forward, and we drop that chin down, try not to curve the top of the neck, just the chin dropping down, and no pulling with those arms or hands. Just trying to keep the weight forward, weight is still down, chin is heavy, nice relaxed weight of the arms doing the work. 2, 1, and lift the head up. We don't want to rush the pull, don't want to feel like we're forcing it, just letting the way the hands do it, and drop that chin down, keeping the weight in front, heavy in the hands for 3, 2, 1, and we slowly bring that head up. Good, let's do 2 more, and we tuck the chin, rolling down, keeping the head nice and heavy, hanging into the front of the toes, just the way the hand's doing the work for us, not forcing it at all. 3, 2, 1, and slowly up, and last one, hands are heavy, hanging over that head, into the torso, just getting that pull through it, heavy through the head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly up, nice and tall. We have an assistant now. Fantastic. Right. We're going to let those arms relax now. Let's stretch out that spine completely forward now. So a nice deep inhale. We want to feel a slow melt through. Keep those knees soft throughout. Deep inhale and exhale. Tuck the chin, rolling forward. Weight gets in front, softening those knees. Weight stays ahead of those toes, hanging into the feet. Keeping that weight heavy, nice and loose, out those shoulders, keeping that back a bit of a straightening or stretching out a bit. 2, 1, and we slowly push those hips forward, restack that spine up, shoulders staying open, chin comes up at the very end. Nice and slow, deep inhale and tuck the chin, curving forward, getting the weight in front, moving the weight ahead of those hips, hanging into those toes, keeping the weight ahead of the hips, hanging into it. 3, 2, 1, and slowly restacking up, nice and tall. Good, you want to keep that nice and slow, heading forward. Deep inhale and tuck the chin, curving forward. Keep that hang into the toes, just stretching out the back, trying to get that back to let go. Might be tough. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly out. Very good. Keep those knees nice and soft. Last one. Deep inhale, and we tuck the chin, melting through, keeping the weight in front of those hips. So feel like we're falling forward a little bit. Weight in the toes. Head's nice and heavy, hanging into those feet. Keep that hang there for nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's grab behind the shins, so on the calves. Don't have to hold too high, also don't have to hold too firm. A nice comfortable hold is fine. We're going to try and straighten one leg at a time just to get a bit of a pull, keeping the opposite leg bent. So let's straighten that right leg, keeping that left leg bent, getting that pull. Weight a bit in the toes as well. Keep that pull. 3, 2, 1, and bend the right leg. Press that left leg out. We're going to feel maybe a bit of a quad pull. It might even pull quite a lot on that lower back. That's fine. We're really trying to stretch out the body here and bend that leg and switching over. Getting that straight, really trying to push that knee back, opening up that spine, opening up that leg. 3, 2, 1, and bend, and straightening the left leg. Keep that pull, lengthen out that hip. 3, 2, 1, and bend, and switching over. Right leg's turn, keep that pull. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend, and straighten that left leg. Really getting that pull, arms staying heavy, shoulders staying loose. 3, 2, 1, and bend. Last one, each leg, straightening that right leg out. Keep that pull, weight still nicely in the toes, heavy out those shoulders. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend, and switching over. Left leg's turn, keep that pull, lengthen out that back of that leg. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend both legs, and still holding on. We're going to try and straighten both legs now, getting that double pull through the back of those hamstrings, arms still hanging loose, shoulders staying loose. 2, 1, and bend. And again, straighten both legs, getting a bit of the weight still to stay in front of those toes, keeping it nice and heavy. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend. Let's do 2 more. Double straight on both legs. Keep that there. 3, 2, 1, and bend. And last one, and bend or straighten. Keep those legs straight. Really feel that pull. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend both legs. Let go of the shins. Keep that hang there. Just for a nice 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we slowly start standing up again. Arms staying loose, chin staying tucked in till the very end. Standing up nice and tall. Good. Now we're going to stretch our shoulders a little bit while we're still standing. Going to take that left arm, bend it behind the back. So now that arm's gone up. Don't have to go too high. We don't have to grab too high. Just nice and relaxed. We're going to try and get the shoulder not to roll forward. We're going to keep that there. We're going to look over to the opposite side. So we're looking over to the right side. We're going to feel a bit of a pull in this left chest as we're pushing this hand of ours into our lower backs. So we feel like we're opening up that chest. Don't feel like it's rolling forward and this hand starts to lift off. You want to keep it under that back as we're looking to the side. Nice and heavy. Trying to keep that chin nice and down. 2, 1, and up. Changing arms over. Right arm behind the back. Look to the left. Chin down. And we're pushing that hand into the lower back. And we're opening up that shoulder. And feel a bit of a tightness or pull there if we're quite tight in it. Knees are still soft. 2, 1. Lower down. Head comes up. Other arm, left arm up. Over to the right. Chin down. Feeling that pull. Opening up that socket. Opening up that shoulder. Keeping there. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching over, opposite side, look to the left, chin goes down, pressing that hand into that lower back, opening up that blade, keeping that chest nice and open. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And last one, each way, left arm comes up, opening up that collarbone, opening up that shoulder, look to the right, chin goes down, keeping it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and head up and arm down, opposite side, arm behind the back, look to the left, chin is down, nice and heavy through it. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and unhook that arm and lift up that head. Good. We're going to stretch out our forearms a little bit now. Before we get there, let's get to the fingertips first. To change the fingertip stretch, palm is going to be facing forward. We're going to grab those fingertips and we're going to bring that hand up. You don't have to hook the thumb in. It's a bit harder to keep that thumb in, so it's just those fingertips. We're going to pull them back. So we want to feel it pulling along the front of that wrist. If you want to get that pressure through, pressure is getting heavy into that wrist. Trying to get that right arm straight while we do this. Holding at the very top of the fingers any way you like. You can hold it that way, you can hold it that way, just as long as you're holding on the edge of those fingers. Feel that pull through that hand. Forearm, 2, 1, and changing. Over, pulling through. Keeping that pressure so the fingertips are still facing up. You're going to feel possibly pulling at the bottom of that wrist, bottom of that forearm. Keeping in there, 3, 2, 1, and switching over. Fingertips facing upwards. Pulling that hand back, trying to get that arm straight so you can really get that pull for 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching over. Other wrist gets a pull. Don't pull too hard if it gets too uncomfortable. You have to pull extra a little bit. You can just keep it where it is. So as you start, that length is fine. Don't need to force it anymore. 2, 1, and last one each way. Switching over, pulling on those fingertips, keeping that nice and open for 4, 3, 2, 1, and last one, just on those fingertips, keeping that stretch, keeping that pull for 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good, now we're going to get the internal stretch. Grab those fingertips, so fingertips were facing up. We now turn the hand to the fingertips face down, grab those fingertips down in reverse, and then you twist. Now we're going to get that side stretch through those arms. Arm doesn't have to be too high, as long as we have a straight right arm. So height is not dependent, just as long as it doesn't go anything into the neck. Getting that rotation through that arm is important. 2, 1, and switching over. Changing over, other hand gets a turn, pulling a little bit on that palm. Getting that twist. More of the rotation in the arm is more important. Getting that rotation. Arm staying loose, 3, 2, 1, and switching over, heavy through the palm. Nice comfortable pull, don't want to feel like we're forcing anything too much. Nice and heavy through it. 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching over. Keep that pull for 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax those hands down next to us. Now we're going to start stretching out our bodies a bit. We'll lie flat enough on our stomachs. Head will be down, arms are going to be next to our ears. Legs are going to be straight. So we're lying nicely on that. Good. Now we're going to start working a bit through the back. We're going to try and stretch the front of our abs a little bit. Also the psoas, which is an internal part. So we're going to open up those arms a little bit wider. So wider than your max, good enough. Now you're going to push those hands a little bit into the floor. Keep the legs nice and relaxed. We're going to lift that head up and we're going to lift those shoulders off the ground. So working into the arms a little bit, but also feel like we're opening up the front of that body. For 3. Might start feeling it more into the back, that's fine. If it gets too much for the back, rather have your arms go further forward. So when you are at full extension of the arms, we don't have a sharp angle in that back. We have a nice work through those shoulders. And lower down. Good. And move those hands slightly more forward. And we're lifting up that torso. Keeping the elbows now for now just on the ground. Opening up that back for 3, 2, 1. And lower down. Let's do one more for warm-ups and lifting up, keeping that torso up, heavy in the elbows. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Now we're going to make those arms go slightly more forward. We're going to try and push ourselves elbows hard into the floor and get to an extension of those arms so they're nice and straight, so you can really get into that nice curvature in the back. If it's too much, rather have your hands go quite a lot more forward. Lifting up the head, lifting up the shoulders, and we're going to straighten those arms. Good. Creating a little bit of a curved shape. We're trying to create a platform between the base of the hips, so the front of the hips and the front of the body as it curves forward, stretching from inside that spinal area. 2, 1, and slowly down. Elbows touch first, then the head. When we get up again, trying to get over that one, once we get to the top, we're going to try and actively relax those legs. We don't want to feel the body resisting, fighting the stretch. We want to feel like the body slowly releasing into it. Lifting up the head, pushing those arms down, lifting up the elbows, and getting that nice straight position out of the arms. Now we don't want to have anything activating, as always, nothing in the necks. Once we are up there though, try and relax those legs. So feel like you're dangling your feet out, or you're just trying to relax here. Don't want to feel like we're activating too much into those hips. Want to keep it nice and loose, working through those arms, and slowly lowering down. Again, if there's anything in the lower back that starts to pinch, rather move your hands more forward. Deep inhale and lifting up, getting that height out those shoulders. And we can feel that nice curve from the front of the body, front of those hips. Trying to keep the legs as relaxed as we can, so we don't want to feel any tension in the calves or in the quads. We just want to feel it pulling from the front. So again, nothing in the glutes is going to work either. Nice and relaxed, feeling it just sitting there for 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lowering down. Elbows touch first, then we go down. Let's do 3 more. Deep inhale and lifting up the torso first, then try to get that extension, straightening those arms and relax. Feel like you're pushing your hips into the ground, not just that you're hanging there, so you feel like you're pushing them in more forward action so you can get that length out that back. Again, anything hurting in the lower back specifically, at that bottom area, we're going to have those hands moving forward. You don't want to hurt the body or strain it too much. Keep it there. 3, 2, 1, and slowly down. Very nice. Remember to get the long exhale as you do lift up so the body's nice and relaxed. Last 2, lifting up the chest, pressing into the floor, getting those arms to straighten, getting that pull through the front of the body. Nice relaxed legs throughout. Keep them hanging nice and loose. And hold it there for a nice steady 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower down. I might also feel a bit of a pull from the front of the knees or the front of the quads. That's fine as well. Last one, and exhale, lifting up, get that height out the shoulders, pressing through, opening that spine, opening that rib, feeling the pull from the front of the body, holding it there, nice comfortable. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lowering down all the way. Good, we're going to roll onto our side, so let's go onto our left side. Bottom arm's going to be straight like a pillow. Both legs are going to be straight. Good. We're going to bend that right leg. Good, we're going to have the foot behind us, so we're going to have that leg nice and straight. So we're going to have this foot bend behind us, and we're going to try and grab this right foot with the right hand. So now we're lying comfortably on our side. We can use that bottom leg a bit of a kink in as well, just so that you don't feel like we're rolling forward or back. We're going to try and keep the knee the same height as that hip. Don't want to have it go any higher, so a little bit lower for me. We should be feeling a pull right in the front of the quad here from the hip, also around the knee. If the knee starts to feel too tight, rather have the knee come up a little bit, so you create a bit of an angle there so it's not right in line, just so that the knee gets a bit of a break. If the quad is too tight and you can't reach that foot, get yourself, either if you have an elastic, not elastic band, but like a TheraBand or exercise band or a towel, just so you can hook it around your foot. Tracy doesn't, no, luckily for us, doesn't need it. So as long as you just, even if you just get a big toe, you want to keep it there. Tendency for that knee to move forward, you want to try and keep that back as much as you can. Really feel that pull in the front of that quad. And hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Then completely let go, kick that foot away, just to get that length out of it again. And let's bring it back. Bend that leg, grab that foot, top of the toes, causing an accident, possibly hurting yourself. Good, holding on to that foot, nice and relaxed. Heavy to it, pulling on that foot for 3, 2, want to feel that pull through that quad, 1, and release. Good, complete the extension out of that leg just to give it a break. Let's go 2 more, bend that leg in. Grabbing that foot, keeping that pressure into the quad, so you can really feel that pull from that knee, nice and relaxed, pressing through it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and kick that leg out. Good, and last one, bring that leg back, grab that toe, hold this one for a little bit longer. So every single time we get into the stretch, want to try and get a little bit further or a little bit more comfortable with the range. So if you can't get your foot further and you'll stretch deeper, rather if you're uncomfortable in a certain area, stay in that and see if you can stay in that with less discomfort. So as that muscle just gets relaxed and releases that tension, it'll get a bit more comfortable with being in that stretch. Even if it's tight, even if you start at a small range and it's really, really in front and you feel enough stretch, moving it back moves more. Rather get comfortable with the range that you're in. No need to force it and open it up too much. Always breathing through the stretches. Don't want to feel like we're tensing or suffocating the body, especially when we get into those tight areas. Just want to hold this nice and heavy pull. Not forcing it either. Nice, relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release that leg. We're going to still stay on the side, bend the bottom leg, knee in front of us. Going to place this right foot in front of that knee, stretching out a bit of the glutes now, and we're going to push that knee away from us first, keeping the bottom leg stationary so it doesn't get to move, just as a nice anchor. Want to stay out that shoulder. This might be tight just by sitting in this position. As much as you can, or you want to, you can push that knee away as much as you feel that stretch. Might also feel a bit of the inside of the thigh as well. As we go through it, hold it there, 5. Nicely breathing through it, shoulder out of it, 4. Keeping that pressure away from that foot, 3, 2, 1. Now keeping that leg where it is, reaching on the outside of the knee. We're going to pull that leg in towards our chest. Now if we try and get it in between a range, either between the left shoulder, so the foot stays on the floor, I don't want this foot left, we pull it out of the front because this is the right leg now, we're pulling it to the left shoulder. We try and find a tight spot in that knee. If you want to use the bottom arm as well, you can, but we're just trying to get an angle. So it might be closer to the top shoulder, might be closer to the bottom. Trying to find the area where this starts to pull, where you feel a bit of resistance, a bit of tightness. So everyone's muscles work a bit differently or tighter in different areas, so there's no one position. Just trying to find it where it is. Want to get that tight position. Once you find it, we just kind of sit in it for a little bit. Holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we move this bottom leg a little bit closer. Good. Now we push that knee away again, away from us. So it's making that angle a little bit sharper. It might feel a bit more work now. Shoulders full, staying loose. So nothing in the neck, especially with that pressure coming through. Just feeling that hand, moving that knee away, opening up that hip. Nice and heavy through it. Keeping that pressure there. 4, nice. 5, 4, 3, keeping it nice and straight. Pressure into that knee. 2, 1, hands on the outside of the knee and pull that leg in. Closer to the left side. So it's the right leg going almost a cross pattern onto the left shoulder, trying to find that tight spot. Gonna hold it on there. Not too much force, just enough that you can get to that stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move the bottom leg a little bit closer if you can, small increments. And again, last one, each way, press that knee away. Really feel that pull in that glute. Nice and heavy through it. Heavy through that knee. Pressing, don't want to force it too much, but keep it sort of stationary in there. Getting that length out that hip. Nice and long. For 5. Stationary leg at the bottom as well. Anchoring us down. 4. Pressure to that knee. 3, 2, 1. Let's grab on the outside of the knee. Pulling that knee into the chest. Good. Nice and heavy. Arm being pulled down. Feeling that stretch. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and unhook this right foot. Very good. I'm going to swing around now onto our right side. So spinning around, you can roll around. When you go onto the other hip, bottom arm again is out positioned like a pillow. Both legs are straight. Top leg is going to bend, the foot goes behind us. We're going to try and grab that toe, that foot. Again, if it's too much on the knee, have this knee lifting up a little bit so you can give that knee a little bit of a break. Also, if you can't reach the foot, if it's too tight, get yourself a towel. You'll double spin it, hook it around the foot, and then you just hold onto the towel edge, pulling it up. Keeping that knee low if you can, keeping it in line with the hip. Want to feel it putting nicely in the front of the quad, relaxing the shoulder, especially that arm that's holding on. I don't want anything to grip in the neck. Feel like opening it up. Might also give it a dual shoulder stretch in this as well. As long as you don't keep the shoulder rolling forward, want to keep it rolling back, so we're opening up that pec, opening up that torso. Keep it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that foot go. Complete extension out of it. Getting that straight. Taking a breather there. And hook that foot back. Pulling it in. Grab that foot. Stretching out the top of that quad. Arm stays nice and long. Nice way through that knee. For 5, 4. Nice and heavy. 3, 2, 1, unhook the foot and straighten. Want to breathe through this if it's really tight and hook that foot and grab again just to give it a chance. And again, I want to settle into it. I want to feel like I'm rushing through the stretch. I'm trying to get the stretch done. Stretching takes a bit of time. You need to let the muscles settle and release the body's anxiety from the tension of pulling it. Now it makes the whole body want to go to panic mode. We need to set it for a little bit, so keep it there, breathing through it, nice, relaxed, just holding onto the foot, keeping that grip, opening up that blade, opening up that front of the chest for 5. Try and get a little bit more into that stretch every second you're longer in it for 4. Knee is nice and in line, not too high. 3, heavy through that spine. 2, and 1, kick it out. The last one, get that full extension out that leg. Last one, bring that foot back, grip the toes, feeling that quad pull. Nice length out of it, opening up that shoulder, keeping that width nice and length out that hip for a nice lengthy while. Keeping the other arm at the bottom relaxed. Don't feel like I'm tensing up into that shoulder either. Just a nice pull on that quad. Keep that stretch for a nice 5, 4, 3, doing well, 2, 1, and straighten that leg, letting go of the foot. Bottom leg bends up, knee is as high as the hip. Taking the top leg, placing that foot in front of it on the floor. Then we push that knee away. Good, nice and relaxed through it. Heavy foot, nice pressure in the knee. Don't feel like we're forcing anything up into that neck either. Just like almost like a javelin pole, just keeping that knee away from us. Keeping that stretch to the quad. Holding out for 5. Nice and steady. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now grab that knee on the outside of the knee, pulling it across to the opposite shoulder or closer to the center of the body. Somewhere in that range, we're going to find a tight spot. When we get there, don't need to push and push more into it or pull into it more. Just need to kind of settle there and sit a little bit so you can feel that stretch for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it. Move that bottom knee a little bit closer. Good, and again, push that knee away. Nice length out of it. Get that pressure into that glute, stretching it out. Get that pressure into that knee. Nice extension out of it. For a nice while. Really want to feel that glute pulling. Getting a bit of a range for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Outside of the knee. Pull it in towards the chest. Opposite shoulders. Another angle we want to go for. Because you can feel like you're opening up that quad. Or opening up that glute. Feeling that twist through the hip. Nice and heavy. Relaxing in the shoulder. Not pulling on too tightly. For a nice 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Bring that knee a little bit closer. And push that knee again away for the last time. Feeling that pressure into that knee. Opening up that hip. Feeling that length out of it. Keep that stretch. For a nice 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and last one, grabbing on the outside of the knee, pulling it into the chest. Keep that pressure through. Nice and heavy into the chest, heavy in the knee, towards the torso. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go of the knee and straighten both legs. Good. We're going to sit up onto our hands and knees. Good. We're going to start stretching outside the inside of the thighs a bit. We've done the quads now, we've done the glutes. Let's get a bit of the inside, keeping those feet together. Good. And let's separate those knees a little bit. Good. And then we're going to sit back onto our haunches and drop the torso through it. Now, if this is a lot on the knees, you wouldn't go as low, you'd have more weight forward. So if you can, you sit back onto it. So we're getting a bit of dual stretch now. If those feet are tight, we're going to feel that the flat position of that foot is going to take a little bit of work. Again, we would shift more weight into the hands. We're trying to open up the hips here as the main stretch. Secondary stretch being those feet. For 3, 2, 1, and shifting the weight forward. So now onto all fours once again. Open those knees up a smidge more. And let's press those hips back. Now you don't want to start too wide with that knee position. You don't want to start too ambitious. Just a nice and comfortable position. We can start feeling, can the body get that stretch as you're warming up. Weights nice in between the hips and the knees. Just hanging into it. Keeping that pressure heavy. Nice and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shift the weight forward. Again, small increment, doesn't have to be big, knees open up a little bit more. Good, and pressing back, getting that pull through the hip, nice and open. Keeping the weight nicely in between the knees, hanging heavy through that shoulder. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shift the weight forward. Last one, small increment, open in the knees. If we can't go anymore, we open those feet a little bit wide. Just a little bit, we'll get that bit of a stretch then. Pressing back, opening up those hips, keeping the weight nice and heavy, hanging between the blades. Nice and smooth, nice and heavy. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shifting the weight forward. Now you can keep those knees in the same position they are. Right palm is going to twist under the shoulder or under the armpit. Good, dragging it along, pushing it along the floor. Now you're going to push back a little bit. Good, push, push, push all the way, bring that arm coming back with you. So kind of let it slide with you, that's it. So we get into the position. Now at the same time, we're going to keep the right arm there, left arm's going to leave the ground. It's going to touch the left hand, or the right hand, and we're going to open up that left arm up towards the ceiling. That's it. So we're getting a bit of a twist and a hip opener as this arm goes back, and then once we're there, we twist it so the thumb faces downwards. We're opening up that side there, trying to get that weight onto the side, twisting through that spine. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hands come to touch. Good. Top arm goes in front of us, and we press the weight forward, dragging that hand back. Good. Same thing now with the left palm. Slide it under the armpit first, press the weight back simultaneously, bring that arm with us, bring that arm with us. Good. Once it's there, top arm goes to touch first, and then we open up that lid, and then we rotate that hand other way so that the thumb is facing downwards and the palm is facing the opposite direction as which it started. So we don't want to, it's always thumb goes down, so never untwist upwards, it's always down towards those hips. Keep that twist for 4, 3, 2, 1, bring that hand back, touching the top bottom hand, move the top hand forward again, and lifting or pressing ourselves forward, drag the hand back, last one each side, right palm goes under, press the hips back, hand slides with us, still in line, top arm touches the hand, and we open up those palms, rotate, thumb goes down towards the hips, thumb goes down, reaching back, nice and heavy. Good. Now if we can't get this height that Tracy's got here, you can have that hand a little bit lower, just so you can get a bit more weight onto this left side. Keeping the weight back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, untwist the hand, hands to touch, top arm goes forward, and we press ourselves up into a resting supported position. Left palm goes under the armpit, reaching out, pressing back, hands to touch first, top hand goes up, twisting, thumb goes down, keeping the weight nice and twist, keeping that rotation through that back, opening up those hips as well, stretching out those feet a bit as well. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and untwist that hand to touch, and moving it ahead, and sitting up nice and tall. Good. Bring the knees under the hips, open up those feet. So we're in a nice supported crawling position. We're going to take our hands down and stretch those forearms and those wrists a bit. So we'll start with the left palm. As those hands are in line and the wrists are in line, we take the left hand so the fingertips face back towards the hips and the palm is facing up. But I keep my wrists in line, meaning that I don't move my hand forward. Now you see my wrist is ahead of that wrist. I want to keep the wrist in line so we can feel that pressure. And keep the weight forward for now. And now with that hand backwards like that, a little bit of shift of the body weight back. Not too much. We just want to feel that pull in that hand. Now you want to try and keep that left arm straight. If it bends too much, we kind of lose the stretch we're going for. And it's not going to be a large range. You're not going to push yourself in a quick burst of energy back. You can do it nice and slow, as much as you can maintain or as much as you can handle. Bit of weight back and rocking back and forward now. So you kind of find that middle little range. So it's a back and a forward. So a small little rock back and forward. Don't increase the speed at all. Nice and smooth in it, nice and calm. Just going to stretch the front of that wrist a little bit, front of that forearm. Keep that going. Nice and heavy for 4, 3, 2, 1, and switching wrist around. Good. Other wrist turn, palm is up, wrist is down. Straighten that arm, and you're rocking a little bit back. Find your range, and then kind of back and forth, kind of like a little bit of a swing action, forward and back. Nice and heavy in the wrist. Don't have to force it too much. Trying to keep that right arm straight. If we can't get it perfectly straight, not a problem. Just trying to really get that twist and pull over that forearm. Keep it rocking for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release that hand. Good. One last one each way. Left palm, fingertips go back towards those hips. Heavy in the hand, and pressing and rocking back a little bit, back and forward. Nice pressure through it. Keep the hang back. Nice and into the hands. Nice and relaxed. Doing this for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And right palms turn up and straighten that arm. A little bit of pressure back, and then kind of rocking back and forth. Find that wrist pressure, much as we can maintain. Good. For 5. Keep it going. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Good. Tracy's going to swing around. She's going to sit down. Legs are going to be straight. Palms are going to be behind you. Fingertips facing away from you. Good. Now we want to try and stretch out our shoulders a little bit. So we're going to have our hands relatively close to our hips at first. Fingers facing away. Then you're going to press your back open. Trying to curve your spine forward so you can open up these shoulders. But we first need to get that nice position. Hands there. Also a bit of extension and length out the back. But really focusing on those blades. Head stays nicely above us. You're going to hold there for 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. Hands go a little bit. Now they're going to go back and wider. So not just back, kind of, we're going always wider and further away from us. Fingertips back. And again, press that back through. Trying to open up those shoulders. They might be quite tight, which is fine. Want to keep the legs nice and active. Not too tense in the quads. Don't feel like I'm extending my leg and massively extending it out. Just getting that length. Pushing a little bit of weight into the feet. You can open up that torso. For 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We've got 2 more. Hands go a little bit further away diagonally as well. And we press through, opening up that chest. Keep that width, opening up that torso. Nice comfortable weight as a balance point in those feet, that the body doesn't twist or turn unnecessarily. Keep it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And last one, hands go a little bit back. Keeping it there. Keep that length for 5. Pushing through, nice pressure through it, opening up that chest. Keep that length for nice lengthy 5. Opening up the torso. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. We're going to swing now, roll onto our side. We're going to still keep our pressure on that hand. Then we're going to sit up onto our knees. Good. Going to keep that there. Now we're going to try and tip over to the left side. If we can, we try and touch the ground. If the hips kink a little bit, that's not a problem. But we want to try and get that flexion release, even if we're just touching the ground. The right arm comes over this top then. So we can open up that side. So if you get a little bit of a kink and you feel you can't touch the floor, you can push those hips a little bit back just so you can have almost a fingertip touching, just to get that reference. Now Tracy's doing well. She's keeping her hips still square, facing forward. Now as you can see, we're opening up these ribs, still balancing nicely on the knees. 2, 1, right arm comes up and over and lower down. Good. Lifting up, standing up tall. Now the right arm goes down first, touching the ground if we can. Right arm, good. And then the left arm follows us. Overhead, opening up those ribs. Keeping that width out of that spine. Opening up over the blades. Nice and lengthy out those ribs. Arms reaching out for 4, 3, 2, 1. And arm goes down, and we're standing up tall. Last one each side, tipping over first, trying to reach for that ground. Right arm up, and we tip over to the side, opening up. Keep that width for 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly up, lower the right arm down to the ground, melting into that spine, and left arm comes over, keeping that width, stretching out that spine for 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Hands go down next to us. Now we're going to get rid of a stretch and a twist. So we sit back onto our feet. Feet will get a bit of a stretch. We tip over to the left first. Hand touches the ground. Quite easy right now. Right arm comes over. And now we're going to try and get this right hand that's above us to touch the ground in front of us, in line with that left hand. So you'll see Tracy's done a good job. This arm is now reaching basically ahead away from us. We can stretch out that back a bit, try and keep it or get it in line with that arm so you can really get that length out that side. You're going to try and keep this right sitting bone down as well onto that ankle for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, untwist and propping yourself up nice and tall and over to the side. Right arm goes over and left arm follows, and then we twist, trying to reach for that arm ahead of us. Trying to keep the left hip down, nothing's out that spine, keeping that reach for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, untwist, and with the right arm, pop yourself up and over, almost like a windmill, falling over to the left side, last one each way. Right arm comes over and we rotate, we touch down, reaching for that far away from the hip, trying to keep the right hip on the ankle, really get that extension out that spine, out those ribs, keep that length for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and untwist and pop up over to the other side. Last one, reaching over, get that length, keep that pressure and twist, keeping that left hip down, nice pressure into it for 5, nice twist, reaching out for 4, 3, 2, 1, and untwist and sitting up. Good. Tracy's going to lie on her back now. Legs are going to be bent. Arms are going to be in a wide, nice T position. Good. Now we're going to twist that lumbar spine a bit specifically. Going to keep the shoulder blades on the floor for now. But when we start to tip, then they can lift up. We only have obviously the one lifting. Arms are extended away. Elbows can be slightly bent if we're feeling a bit more tightness of a pull inside that pec. Knees are going to be together, feet are going to be together as well. Keep them touching. We tip those legs over to the left side. And you try and get them as deep as you can down. If it's not too deep when you start, not a problem. As we do more, we try and get a bit more range. We're going to feel like it's heavy knees just hanging away from us. Trying to keep ourselves relaxed in that torso. Keep that breath through it though. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those legs back. Keep those knees together. Good. And we tip over to the right, twisting from that mid back and that lumbar spine, getting that twist, trying to keep those arms nice and heavy, hanging into those feet, into those knees. For nice heavy 4, 3, 2, 1, and center. Good. And again, tipping over to the left. And we increase the stretch a little bit. We look to the right with the head. Nice and smooth. Don't throw your head into that position. Just twisting out the back. Shoulders are one way, knees are the other. Keep it there. 4, 3, 2, 1, and shifting back, bring the head back to the center. Over to the right once again, head twist over to the left. In the entire rotation through the spine from the head all the way to the lumbar, next to into those hips. Keeping that twist, knees are nice and heavy over to the side for 4, 3, 2, 1, and back to center. Last one each way, and we tip over to the left, head falls over to the right. Now we're going to increase that stretch a little bit. We're going to straighten that right leg out. Good, still keep those knees touching. Now a bit more weight on that side, so a bit more pull also from the back of that spine into those ribs. Keep that length for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that leg back and bring the head and the knees back to the center. Now opposite sides, left side with the head, right side with the knees, getting it over first. Then we straighten that left leg out so we can get a bit more weight on this edge of the hip Really getting that nice pull through it. Keeping that pressure through for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back in, and bring those legs back to the center and in. Good. Gonna bring those hands next to us. Good. Left leg's gonna come up to tabletop. Good. Then we're gonna try and straighten that leg up to the ceiling if we can. Now we're gonna lift that torso up and grab just behind that leg if we can. Good. So we're gonna get a bit of a pull there. Now once you've got it, shoulders staying on the ground, you're just holding onto that leg. We're gonna straighten that right leg out. Good. So we should get a bit of a dual stretch, top of this hip and this leg. Now again, if you can't hold it near the calf, rather hold it lower down on the leg, so not on the kneecap. Never get behind the leg, it starts to get irritated. We're trying to get this leg straight. It's going to pull from the base of the hip. Hamstring might be a little bit tight as well. Keep that right leg bent for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bend this right leg in. Good. And unhook that left leg, lowering it down. Good. We're going to do that same leg once again, just giving it a bit of a break. Lift that left leg up to tabletop again. Straighten it out. Grab that leg behind it. And then straighten that right leg away. May also feel a bit of a pull in the fingertips. Not too much in the neck, holding on. Just a nice length out this right leg. Opening up that hip. Getting a bit of a stretch on that left side as well. Keep that pull for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that right leg in. Bend the left leg as well. Good. Keep it there. Don't let go of that leg now. We're going into our last one. Straighten that left leg out. And then we straighten that right leg. Feeling the pull over that hip. Holding onto that quad. Getting a bit of a stretch from the base of that spine. If that hamstring starts, you can hold a little bit lower. If not, you hold higher. Keeping that pull. Foot's nice and flat. So don't feel like you're pointing it or flexing it too much. Just a nice relaxed foot. Holding on for a nice 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right leg in, bend that left leg, and unhook the left hand and lower that right left leg down. Right leg's turn, lifting up to tabletop, grabbing that right leg, straighten the right leg up, and then straighten that left leg out. So this one might be tighter or looser than the other one. Might be feeling like you have to lift up. If you feel like you can't reach at all, then do lift a little bit up. You will feel a bit of work in the neck, but do keep that grip so you can really work onto this right leg and that left hip as that leg is straight. And you'll see Tracy doing well now. This foot hasn't fallen out to the side, hasn't fallen out, still up. So we can get the real pull over that hip socket, keeping the right leg straight for 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend the left leg in. Then bend the right, let's still keep holding onto that leg. And we straighten that right leg up again, straighten that left leg out. Getting good length out that hip. Keep that stretch, nice length out of it. Open up that hip for nice lengthy 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend that left leg in, bend that right in. Good, just taking a breather, last one. Straighten that right leg up and extend that left leg out. Getting that pull out of that hip, nice and long. Keep that stretch, keep that reach. Keeping it long for a nice lengthy 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend that left leg in and bend that right leg in. Good. Now we're going to sit up, both feet are on the floor. We're going to sit up, squeeze our feet together, open up our knees. Good. Holding onto the feet a little bit. Be a nice position where the hip opens a bit more, and we can let those feet down or those knees bounce a little bit. Not too quick, but as the stretch is on the way down, we keep those knees bouncing nice and heavy. Still keeping that back relatively straight. Nice and heavy through those knees. Nice and heavy bounce. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take a break. Now we start to curve that spine a bit. Hold on to the toes. And just curve that spine, leaning forward. Nice and heavy. Out of those shoulders for 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Holding onto the feet again. Let's have those knees bounce. And they're bouncing next to us. Nice and heavy. Opening up those hips a little bit. Nice and relaxed. Keeping the pressure into those knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Grab those toes once again and leaning a little bit forward, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. And we can bring those feet a little bit closer for the last one. Knees are nice and wide, and let's get that bounce in those knees. Nice and heavy. Pressures into them, into those knees. Nice and heavy for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's grab those toes again, curving that spine, stretching it out, holding it on for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Let's straighten both legs out in front of us. We're going to stretch those hamstrings in the back a little bit, leaning as far forward as we can. Let's try and grab those ankles. If we can reach for the feet or the toes, you can flex your feet back if you like. That'll get a bit more into the calf specifically. We want to try and get as forward as we can, even if we're holding onto the shins or the knees. Even if you're just touching your knees, that's fine. You're going to get that pull through the back, and as you get more through it, you'll go lower and lower and lower and lower through it. Keeping the weight in front, breathing through it. There might be a tendency for the shoulders to activate. You want to keep them out of the party for 3, 2, 1, and then sit up nice and tall. Taking a nice breather there. And again, deep inhale and reaching forward, getting the weight in front, reaching for those toes. Nice length out of the back. Weight stays in front of the hips. Breathing through it. Can you keep these for a little bit? Don't want to bounce in and out of them, and the muscles stretch and contract and stretch and contract. Want to keep that stretch for as long as we can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sitting up, relaxing those feet. Let's do 2 more. Nice breathing through it. And exhale, reaching forward, getting that weight, staying in front, keeping those knees. If you can't reach deep enough, don't have to have perfectly straight legs, but we want to try and keep that. It's going to be tight, your body's going to resist. Try and keep the legs straight. So even if you're reaching just for knees, but in fact keeping them straight, we're not going to really feel it if we have those legs bent. You want to keep it straight so it really feels that pull up the whole back and those hamstrings, keeping it there for a nice lengthy 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lifting up, nice, relax out the spine. And our last one, deep inhale and reaching forward, getting that weight in front, hanging into those feet, breathing through it. Weights are heavy, shoulders staying loose. Nice, relaxed, heavy weight into the torso. Feel like the shoulders are heavy, arms are just growing longer by the second so they can get to the bottom. Muscles are lengthening out, they're being melted, they're being stretched. Keep it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release those feet and sitting up. Last positions now, we're going to swing and roll around onto our hands and knees. Knees nicely under the hips, left hand goes off the mat to the side, onto the towel, just to the next, out to the left, right hand on top of it, and now you push those hips back, keeping those shoulders square. So don't want to see rotation in the body. We're opening up the ribs, but also specifically that shoulder blade is being glided or being stretched over that rib cage, so you can feel that opening in that side. But just stretching the feet if we're tight. Keep it back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift the weight forward. We're going to mix it up a bit now. Left hand goes a bit more left. Now the toes also dig in, because we can stretch the bottom of those feet a bit. Now you push those hips back once again. So we're stretching the side now and a bit of the feet. If it's too much on the toes, go back to flat feet. Also vice versa. If it's too much on flat feet, go back to toes. We want to mix it up. So whichever one you do it first, try and do the other one second. Want to stretch out those feet, bottom of the foot, pulling nicely through it, reaching those arms out, relaxing that shoulder and the head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift the weight forward. You can swap the feet out once again. So let's go flat in this case. Opposite side. So over to the other. Right hand swings across. Hand on top. Left hand on top of it. And pressing back. Feet are flat. Nice and heavy. Opening. Now you want to keep Tracy's body's doing well. It's still horizontal. Shoulders haven't twisted or spun. She's a nice plank that should have been twisted to the side. Keeping her reach out of those shoulders. Keep it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shift the weight forward. Now we change that foot position once again, going a little bit more to the right with that stretch, and on top, and press those hips back, stretching at the top or the bottom of the feet now, as toes again pulled back nicely, weight set back into those hips. Keep the weight nice and heavy into those arms as well, so you can really feel that opening up in the ribs. Keep it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and shift the weight forward. Bring those hands in front of the hips, relax those feet, sit back completely into rest position, hands next to the knees. Nice relax. You can stay in this little ball as much as you like. We are done, but do breathe through it, let the body calm down. Don't just jump up and hop out of it. Stay there for a couple of seconds and see you next time.